Hello, future toppers. Let's make maths simple, intuitive, and fun together. So, we got wholesome new topic named transformation of graph. So, in this part, we will understand how to manipulate graphs if they appear to be complicated. We all know that we have studied graphs of sine, cos, tan, cot, sec, cosec, signum, logarithmic, exponential. We have handled those situations. Now we will upgrade the level of understanding about the graphs. So suppose that I have asked you to handle this situation: 2 sine x minus 5 plus 10. So how does the graph of this function will look like, we have to understand. So look at this. So in this part we will understand that, like, we will break down these things into minute topics, and we will understand what thing will happen in which cases. Like, the first transformation means we have break down all those transformations into certain groups, and the first group will look like this. If we will replace x with minus x, what will happen? So look at this. You have a function, you know that you guys are comfortable with f of x equals to sine x. है ना? Now suppose that I have asked you to handle f of x equals to sine minus x. Then what will happen? Similarly, f of x equals log x, and here we will be having f of x equals log minus x. Okay, so based on these two things we will try to gather some information. So according to me, the output which we will get for this x, we will get the same output for the negative of previous x. Like, suppose that we want to have output as 1 by 2. Okay, output as 1 by 2. So for that, the value of x, the input should be what? We will try to understand. Okay, so input x will be pi by 6, 30 degree. Okay, now look at this. Here, for this function, to get output as 1 by 2, we should give input as minus of pi by 3, sorry, pi by 6. So that minus of pi by 6 will become pi by 6, and then you will get your corresponding output. Okay, now while handling log function, you guys are aware of this thing, that log x function hits x-axis at 1 comma 0. Means if input is 1, output will be 0, है ना? So what will be the input of this thing? I feel that the input would be minus of the previous. Okay, if input is minus 1, output will be 0. Output will be 0. Means, look at this. Suppose that we have drawn graph of sine function. Sine function look like this. Okay, so I feel that the graph of sine x, sine of minus x, will be exactly the same, but that too in negative direction. Means here, 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 and this, and this. Okay, I feel this is the idea. Now I feel that if we have to draw graph of log x, I should go this way. Who is this? This is 1 comma 0. Now if I have to draw graph of log minus x, I think we should go this way. This is minus 1 comma 0. So this is my idea. And like on the whole, I feel that like this is my note. Okay. Note is to hold y-axis and rotate it by 180 degree. This is my note for this point. If we will replace x with minus x, we should hold y-axis and rotate it by 180 degree. Okay, this is my idea. Now, if y will be replaced by minus y, it will be the same. If you are replacing x with minus x, you are holding y-axis. So if you will replace y with minus y, you have to hold x-axis and rotate it by 180 degree. I hope you got the idea. Is that clear? Now let's check whether our observation is correct or wrong. Okay. For that I will take help of Desmos. Now look at this. Suppose that we have to draw graph of sin x. So look at the graph of sin x. Is that okay? Red graph is sin x. Now sin minus x. So sin bracket we have minus x. So we feel that it will rotate y-axis by 180 degrees. So look at this. This blue graph is for sine function. Sine of minus x. Now look at this. If you'll observe, look at this. Means this is true that if we will hold y-axis and rotate it by 180 degree, we will get that situation. Okay? Is that clear? Now, let's apply the same logic for logarithmic function. So let's take ln x so that we can draw increasing function, because the ln base is e. So base is greater than 1, it would be increasing function. So look at this. This is your ln x. Now I feel that if we will draw graph of ln minus x, we will have the same graph, but that too in the opposite direction. Means we should hold y-axis and rotate it by 180 degree. Look at here. So we got wait. Ln minus x. Look at this. We are correct. Look at this. I hope the idea is clear. Means we have to hold y-axis and rotate it by 180 degree. Is that okay? Now, let's move on to the next transformation. So next transformation is we have to replace x with x minus a. So my point is key, look at this. We have a function f of x equals sine x. We have a function f of x equals sine x minus 2. Please be super slow and observe carefully, because sine is a periodic function. You may not understand the shifting. For that we will take logarithmic function. So f of x equals to log x. Here f of x is what? Log x minus 2. Okay, wait a moment. Now look at this, because that minus can be anything, no? So what is this? Here a is positive. Look at this, I'm talking about this a. So in place of a I'm writing 2, so a is positive. In this case a is negative. Okay, so a is minus 2 in this case. So minus of minus 2 becomes plus 2. We have the same situation over here. A is positive over here and a is negative over here. So let's observe the transformation. Now, like I feel that for this case, I feel that like earlier we guys were getting 0 at x equals to 0, means here if we will substitute x as 0, we will get 0 output. But to get the 0 over here, we need to put 2, means I feel that we have to shift our graph towards positive direction of x-axis by a unit, means 2 unit. Now look at this. In this case, if you want to get 0, you should put x as 1, correct? If you will put x as 1, your graph will reflect 0. I feel that to create 1 over here, we have to put x as 3. Means in this case also graph will shift towards positive direction of x-axis. Means look at the note. A is positive. We have to shift our graph towards positive direction of x-axis by a units. Okay, and on the same scale, if we want to get 0 over here, we should put x as 0, and if we want to get 0 over here, we should get minus 2. So our graph should shift towards negative direction of x-axis by a unit. Here if you want to get 0, you should put x as 1, but here if you want to get 0, you should create 1, है ना? So how will you create 1 over here? Just think about it. If you substitute x as minus 1, then it will become 1, and this means your graph will shift towards negative direction of x-axis by a unit. If a is negative, we have to shift our graph. Look at this, we have same thing. Now negative direction of x-axis by a unit. Okay, now let's analyze the graph in Desmos. Look at here. So first we will try to handle sine function. So we have sin x is okay. Now we will try to draw graph of sin x minus 2. So hopefully graph will shift towards positive direction of x-axis by a unit. Look at this, this is 0 comma 0. Now we have sin x minus 2. Look at here, it is 2. So you may say that, sir, why you are observing here? Just observe here. So like on the observation I am trying to conclude, like this point is shifting from this to this. Okay, so it is shifted towards positive direction of x-axis, means on sine hopefully it is correct. Like to be more precise, I will go with logarithmic function because you guys are having some dicey situation. So look at this, sin x is there, sorry, ln x. So it creates 0 at x equals to 1. Now I want to create 0 for the this function. So for that we have to put x as 3. So I think that if we will replace x with x minus 2, our graph will shift towards positive direction of x axis by 2 unit, means here it is at 1, now it will reach at 3. So look at here. So we have ln x minus 2. Look at here. Yes, it's correct. है ना? So if we will replace x with x minus a, and a is a positive number, you have to shift your graph towards positive direction of x axis by a unit. Now on the same stage you have to observe that what if a is negative. So according to me the graph should shift towards negative direction of x axis by a unit. We will try to conclude over here. Okay, means on stage 1 it was at 1. So like if you'll observe here, so for what value of x we will create 0. So I think that we have to shift our graph towards negative direction of x axis by 2 units, means earlier it is at 1, you will reach at 0, and then you have to reach at minus 1. So if x is minus 1, you will have output as 0, means graph is shifting towards negative direction of x axis by a unit. Look at this, x plus 2. Yes, it reached at minus 1. So that observation was correct. Okay, is that clear? Now, so if x is means the same problem will happen with y as well. So if you'll replace y with y minus a, if a is positive, you have to shift your graph towards positive direction of y axis. If it was x, you are shifting towards x axis. If it is y, you will shift towards y axis by a unit. Okay, and if a is negative, you have to shift your graph towards negative direction of x axis, sorry, y axis by a unit. Is that clear? Now let's jump on to the next stage. So here we have to handle this case. Suppose that f of x is log x, and then we have to understand f of x as log 2x. Okay, now look at this. According to me, like suppose that if we will put x as 1, we will get 0, correct? Now to create 0, we have to take x as 1 by 2. Okay, so if you are handling this case where you are replacing x with kx, so according to me you have to divide x axis by mod k. If you are replacing y with ky, you have to divide y axis by mod k. Okay, let's check this thing over here. So look at here. So you got your ln x. So look at this. Here we got at 1. So if it is 2x, we think that this 0 we will get at 1 by 2. So next function is, look at here. So we have ln 2x. Look at this. No need to redraw your graph, but what you should do, just divide x axis by mod k. And if you are handling, if you are replacing y with ky, what you should do, you have to divide y-axis by mod k. Okay, I hope this idea is clear. Now we have this transformation. You have to understand this thing very carefully. Very carefully means very carefully. Now look at this. Suppose that you know how to draw graph of sin x. Now I am asking you this situation. Can I write f of x equals to sin x? Okay. Now look at this transformation. So I'm trying you to convince with this part. Sin mod x. This is stage 1. Now stage 2. Mod y equals to sin x. And then stage 3 means this idea is this, this idea is this, and then y equals to mod sin x is this. Okay, so these are the situations. So first try to understand that if you are replacing x with mod x, what you have to do, erase negative x, then take image. Okay, then if you are replacing y with mod y, erase negative y, take image. Now third situation. Third situation is unique. You may get confused with second situation and third situation, but trust me, if you'll observe the situations, you will understand that both are different. Okay, so if you are replacing f of x, means I'm talking about this situation. In this case, you have to take image first. Take image and then erase negative y. Okay, means look at this. I'll help you with some examples. So suppose that you have to draw a graph of sin x. So this is the graph of sin x. Look at this. Correct? Now I'm asking you to draw a graph of sin mod x. So according to me, what we have to do, we have to erase negative x. Means in this side you have to erase. Negative x side you have to erase. Okay? So you erase. Look at this. Done with erase part. Now you have to take image. So you have to consider this as the reference line and then you have to erase that thing. Take image. So if you'll take image, your graph will look like this. So this is the graph of mod sin mod x. Look at here. Okay, we have ln x. So we will go with ln only. So look at this. So my point is, look, this is ln x. So we have to erase the negative part. So in negative part you don't have anything, correct? So suppose that you have erased. Now you are taking image. So if you'll take image, this blue part will come over here. So look at this. This is the graph of mod sin x. Look at here. This is the final resultant log mod x graph. This is how your graph will look like. Okay. Now, same situation, if we will replace with, if y is being replaced with mod y. So in that case, what you have to do? You have to erase negative y first. Okay. So this is the graph, this is the graph, this is the graph. Okay. So in this situation, first you have to erase negative y. Done. And then you have to take image. So this is the image of mod y equals to sin x. Okay, look at this. Mod y sin x. Look at here. Is that okay? So this is the graph of mod sin x. Clear na? Look at here. So many bubbles. I hope it is clear. Now, look at the last transformation. F of x is being replaced by mod f of x. Means on the right hand side, we have to take mod. Look at this. So we have bubble this. This is the graph. So you know that you have to take image. So what you will do? First you will take image of below part on above. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Then above part below. Done. So you have taken the image. Now you will erase negative y. Means you have to erase this part. Okay. Look at here. So this is your resultant graph. So this is the transformation of graph. You have to understand this thing very gracefully, and you will be applying these situations in so many chapters in limit, continuity, differentiability, area under curve, definite integration. You will be exploiting these concepts. Okay, so you have to understand as well as memorize these situations so that those questions will become easy for you guys. I hope you got better conceptual understanding about the current topic. So see you in next session of Mathflix.